This one goes out to you, Kristen. She is actually former New York One anchor, right? So she actually requested for me to take a look at ENZC, as this is a biotech company right here, you guys, with a lot of promise, actually huge upside over the last 2 days. Let's go ahead and get our analysis, the analysis thread together here, you guys, right? So what is up, you guys? Thank you so much for stopping by. Once again, this is ARCa coming at you with an ENZC technicals and raw price action thread of analysis on this Hump Day Wednesday. Before we get started, please make sure to subscribe to the channel, like the video, and share the video with a friend so that you and them could consider joining our trading community in Discord called ARCa Bulls. With that said, let's dive right into the charts. Okay, you guys, so yeah, we're not going to make any edits to any type of video as I usually do, right? So, no, I'm talking about I never ever edit any videos. So whatever you get from me is literally the one take and the one shot winner, right? So however it comes out, that's how it goes out, right? So let's go ahead and get this started and take a look at what the potentials are for this ticker, right? So as huge upside. Okay, so what we want to do is actually look at it from the beginning of the trading, right? So just so we can understand at least some type of direction here for the asset, right? So very clean break of market structure here. In fact, this looks like it was a falling or descending channel with a huge validity of a huge validity of support, right? So something along the lines of this right over here, right? So just like that, we were in this channel for a bit. Let me just go ahead and bring it back just like this right over here, right? So yeah, we were in this channel for a bit, right? And then we actually broke out of it, came back down, validated that newly converted resistance into now a support before a continuation to the upside. So the upside target for the channel has actually already been met. And the way that we can actually take a look at that is actually by taking a trend line from the top side of the channel all the way to the bottom side, right? And then we apply it to that area of breakout. So you can see here that the zone actually led up to the very opening of this candle here at about let's see, that would be about 9:06, right? So very curious that it would open this candle, by daily candle, by the way. So this is a pretty big time frame. So yeah, let's go ahead and continue on the analysis here and see if we have any more potential for an upside. As you can see, the MACD is actually parabolic, a pivot here towards the upside. Another thing that we can keep in mind here is that we do have absolute support from not only DMI with the bulls leading on top and ADX well above the 25%, sitting at 47%, almost 48, but also we have volatility completely expanded here to critical levels, right? So printing these red bars are usually printed when volatility is maxed out and within I would say within the 95 percentile, right? So in this case, please notice here that the stochastic momentum, which usually gives us that bias for direction since volatility is direction neutral, it is sitting in the gravitational zone, and not only the gravitational zone, it is also sitting, the bullish control zone, right? So not only the bullish control zone, but it's also sitting in that gravitational zone of the bullish control zone too. So this can actually be pulled to the upside even still. So now, historically speaking, we can actually zoom out here on the stochastics to see just how far things can be taken, right? So so out of these iterations here, it looks like we have a top side of about 100.37%, of which was fulfilled in let's see, December 2010, right? So we can actually have a pretty substantial upside even still from this bi-daily iteration. As you can see here, this is a renewed strength here from both of the EMA3 and the SMA14 moving averages, right? So I'm definitely liking what I'm seeing here, you guys. So let's go ahead and get out of this view here so that we can continue on the analysis, preferably in the shorter term time frames, right? So let's go ahead and take a look at the 30-minute and see what it's like, or what the price action could be showing us, at least in the immediate short term, right? So actually this is a pretty bullish formation in the 30-minute time frame, right? So usually when you get accumulations like this, well, they're kind of they do have a name, right? So this is an ascending triangle, right? So we can actually look at it like potentially like this, right? So actually, let me make a different drawing. This is entirely discretionary, guys. I've never seen the chart before in my life, right? Until just today. right? So let's just go ahead and note this just like that. Let me get rid of Ricky Gutierrez over here. He's coming on the other screen. Oh my goodness. All right, there we go. So now let's go ahead and make another trend line here from the top side of these candles here. So this is what's kind of signaling that we are making an ascending triangle formation. And the ascending triangle formation is actually a continuation formation when it's well, actually from the downside or the upside, right? So in this case, we are continuing on an upside and making this. This suggests a continuation to the upside. And one of those price objectives that can be taken into account would be from this target here of about 1290 to the very bottom of the triangle, which is the hypotenuse, right? So we'll go ahead and apply it just like that. And then this trend line gets applied to the area of breakout. So if we were to break out from, let's just say that this is a 30-minute time frame. So every candle takes about 30 minutes to complete, right? So if we were to complete this triangle to where it usually tends to complete, which is about 65 to 70% to the apex of the triangle, then we could see a breakout here potentially by tomorrow, maybe, I'm not sure, but it's pretty parabolic right now, right? So that target would actually lead to about 1434. Now, historically speaking, let's see if we have anything at 1434. In fact, we may actually have to take a look at it like this, right? So yeah, we actually do. So the resistance range, I'm going to go ahead and draw this trend line here at 1434, right? Just like this here, just like that. Okay, and now you can see that we definitely have had price action land right at the target that we're looking for, right? So this gives us now a range to look out for, right? So it would be something along the lines of this right over here, right? So 1434 to the top, I would say the top, I would favor this top side, 1549 for the shorter term time frames, right? So this, in comparison to where the price is currently sitting, that would actually give to the top side of this, that would be an additional 22% to the upside at the max probability, right? So please remember that I haven't statistically backed this myself, but there are other ways to kind of look at the potentials here for the upside, right? So another way to do this is taking geometrics into account. So let's take into account before we actually made this parabolic move to the upside, right? So let's take a fib from this range high to this range low, right? So let's go ahead and do that now and see what we have as confluence. Please notice here, it didn't highlight because it touched our target perfectly. It's highlighted there because I just want to see where the 2-spot 618 is located all the time, right? So I colored it, my color, right? So I can also do that to my 1-spot 618, and I can also do that to my to our not 618, right? So we'll go ahead and just make that one green as well. So now you have those three that are colored that, right? So that's just it just so happens to be located right at this target, right? So giving us an even higher probability that we can touch that 1441 level that we were already looking at as 1444, right? So this is a golden mean. This is a universal golden ratio, right? It's literally everything in life. All right, you guys, so if you're not familiar with this geometric target, then just go ahead and search on YouTube the importance of the 618 Fibonacci ratio, right? So it'll blow your mind. All right, you guys, so yeah, this is giving us some more validity for an upside move here. So let's move on with the timeframes here and just get this analysis finished up. Right, so please notice here that the bi-hourly time frame is actually using that 14-day simple moving average as a pretty nice guide towards the upside. We still have an upside pivot on the stochastic momentum, and we're actually contracting here on volatility, right? And we still have DMI support as well. So this is looking not bad. Okay, let's go to the 6-hour. 6-hour time frame with an absolute upside pivot here on the MACD. It's looking like we could retrace. So now if we're jumping into a potential retracement, it would be because we're completely overextended in a lot of time frames, right? But that's not to say that it's done there. It's just to say that this is probably going to allow some more bulls to come into the price action, right? So if we're facing upside from every shorter time frame with a potential retracement on the upper time frames, and actually it's everything is kind of overextended already, right? So that would only tell me that we would potentially face that resistance from the area of about 1434 or 1441, right, to the top side of about 1549 before coming back down and validating our current highs of about 1289 before a continuation to the upside, just like what happened here, right? So we got that upside pivot. We came back and validated that area of support, then continued on to the upside. So I think that this second iteration of this type of move is about to happen again, right? So yeah, it's looking absolutely powerful. I'm very much a fan over what's happening here. In fact, leading into the 3-day time frame and the 5-day time frame, there is plenty of room to actually continue on to the upside here as we're coming out of a critical contraction with an upside pivot both on the moving average and on the volatility component. We're getting support from the stochastic momentum in the bullish control zone here with both the moving averages. We have support from the MACD, and most importantly, we have support from the DMI. ADX currently sitting at about 33%. So anytime ADX is sitting at or above 25%, there is strong market trend for that asset, right? In this case, bulls, green on top of the red, right? We're leading the way, and the ADX support, we have official DMI support for this statistical move. And not to mention the fact that here, stochastic momentum versus money flow index is actually showing us that we have a serious influx of incoming dispersion, meaning the disbursement of returns is actually inbound, right? So we have money flowing into the asset. So this is a very, very impressive price action coming out of ticker symbol ENZC. Definitely keep this in your radar, you guys, because this is making some parabolic moves to the upside, which only lead me to believe that there are several fundamental catalysts in line for this asset to continue on its path to the upside. Okay, you guys, but please remember first and foremost that anything here can be invalidated at any moment. Okay, you guys, but I would like to express that I am not a financial advisor. Take whatever I do show and iterate within these videos as just a form of entertainment, as I cannot suggest for you to buy or sell any assets whatsoever. I need you to do your own due diligence and everything will be cool. Okay, you guys, but with that said, I wish you well a very, very good night, and I will catch you at the bell mañana. Adios.